Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 1 December 2022. We have reached crunch time for Christmas shopping, and I'm here to help. It is Thursday night at 9 o'clock, time for a knife sale on the TheApostleP channel, and a knife sale we shall have. Before we get to the meat of it, let's go over a little bit of housekeeping, shall we? First up, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I will then reprint them in the description underneath this video. Also, in the description above the terms of the sale, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on this channel. The first one is to my Primer for Buyers video. That is a 38-minute expanded explanation of those terms of the sale. So if you're new to this weekly sales event, you should really watch that before attempting to purchase a knife. It makes the process go much more smoothly for you if you do that. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you're looking to move along some of your collection and you'd like to use this weekly sale to do that, that video explains how it all works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So yes, in the description, the all-important description, at the very top, those 3 links. In the middle, the terms of the sale. Then at the bottom, the reason you all came. The list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In that pricing column, you will generally see 2 prices. The one on the left is the price of your knife, as shown in the video. The price on the right, as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. There will be no next day sharpening tonight because I am way behind. The backlog is high. I think a little over 4 weeks. I don't like to see it get over 4 weeks. So I will be sharpening regular sharpening inventory this Friday. So if you purchase a knife to be sharpened, expect it to ship in about 4 weeks. If you see the word sold in lieu of pricing in that far right column, that means that knife has been bought and paid for by its new owner. There's no need to send, and I'll take it for a knife that is marked sold. I think that's about it for housekeeping. I'm going to post the terms up on the screen for you, and then we will be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up, we got 2 leftovers from the Thanksgiving night sale, and let's get to those first. First up, we have a nondescript nylon pouch. No box, no papers, just a pouch. Inside that pouch resides this little beauty from Boker Plus. It is the Burnley Kwaiken with the carbon fiber, or something like carbon fiber, scales over a rather hefty stainless steel liner lock, or a scaled frame lock, however you like to look at it. It is an IKBS, ball bearing flipper with kind of a blackwash or a tumbled DLC finish. VG10 blade, 3.5 inches in length. The handle 4 13/16. There is your lockup, nice and robust, about 50%, rock solid. Blade centering is going to be dead down the middle. Just a little bit of pocket wear on those scales. Pretty much nothing on the blade. It's been used a little. It's not particularly sharp, but we're going to say it's near mint with slight carry wear and slight edge wear. This knife is a real buy, guys. These are in stock new. Internet price retail $180. We were in this last week at $120. It got no takers. Dropped her down to $99 for the weekend. It's still here. Let's do $85 this week, like it is. $110 sharpened on the Boker Plus Kwaiken CF. Next up, you know, sometimes I get shocked when a knife sticks around. This would be one of those times. You recognize that maker's mark. It is a Chaves Ultramar. Oh, there's the Ultramar. And it's hard to tell from the text, but it is a Liberation Street drop point. Just a super handsome knife. And although they appear kind of blocky and chunky, they're very efficient, at least in blade to handle ratio. So you've got a beautifully chamfered, fine bead blasted, then tumbled titanium handle. This is wearing the civilized clip, although the Mick Jagger skull clip is in the box. You've got a 3 o'clock lockup titanium frame lock with a steel interface. There is your drop point blade, bidirectional grinder satin, M390 is your blade steel. 3 3/8 inches of blade, 4 3/16 inches of handle. It is a ball bearing flipper. There is your lock engagement. It is dead rock solid. Don't think I've ever seen a Chaves Ultramar that wasn't. Centering is beautifully dead down the middle. Condition on this one will be near mint to like new in box. These I think are in stock new at a couple retailers for $345. We ran this one last week at $285. It didn't sell on Thursday night. We dropped it to $260 for the weekend. It's still here. Somebody gets a deal, guys. $245 like it is. $275 you'd like my edge on it. That's the Chaves Ultramar Liberation Street drop point. Next up, onto the fresh stuff. And first among them, this one from Spyderco by way of Seki City, Japan. It is an Endura 4 with the Emerson wave opening mechanism. So it's got that sort of deep blue volcano grip FRN handle, the backlock midlock with the buoy dent. It is a flat saber ground blade in VG10. Now this one has been used and sharpened. It's got a pretty decent edge on it, actually. Not quite as refined as I might do it, but it's fairly polished and fairly sharp. Got some hairlines in the blade face from use. Looks like the clip has had a satin finish applied. Nicely done. Lockup is dead rock solid. Very nice, smooth, free action. Centering is down the middle. You know, it's got a little blade wear. It's got a little handle wear on the edges, but no big deal for a user. We'll call it excellent in box. These are getting kind of hard to find. I found one sold listing on eBay for $72 on a similarly priced knife. We're going to do this one at $60 like it is. $80 if you'd like my edge on it. It's the Spyderco Endura 4 Emerson. Next up, this might be the deal of the night. From Microtech, we have an Ultratech. And on the clip, we see a serial number, and that says 192026. And then down here we have a born on date, and that says 2 of 2021. This is an Ultratech SE for single edge. Beautifully stonewashed M390. Button effort is, I'm going to say medium to firm. 100% reliable in deployment. This has, it's got a polished edge on it. Frankly, guys, it looks like it could have been mine, but it's got some use on it since then. A little bit of wear toward the tip, but I'm not sure I would sharpen it yet. So these are out of stock everywhere. When they were last available, they ran $2.95 web retail. This one's got no box, just a knife. I don't think you can buy one this cheap, but it's $200 like it is. $225 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Microtech Ultratech SE for single edge. Next up, here is a piece of history. Oh yeah. Check this out, guys. This is a buck. And it was made by the Tang Stamp in 1990. 1990. Just let that sink in. You're looking at basically a 110, but it's got titanium finger groove scales, no liners. Those slabs are solid titanium. You got some milled holes and then a coarse satin over the top with just some very fine hairlines in that satin. 420 HC blade, 3 3/4 in length. Handle length is 4 7/8. I'm telling you what, guys, zero blade play. Nice free action until you hit the spring. And the blade centering is about perfect. Condition is near mint, no box. Sold listings on eBay between $170 and $255. Now you got to be careful. They remade this knife in the sort of Locksuff anniversary edition of knives. Those had an S30V blade and a thumb stud. Frankly, those aren't worth as much as the old no stud 420HC from 1990. And check me on the Tang Stamp, but the 560 with the X designates the year of manufacture is 1990. You're not going to believe the price on this one, guys. $130 like it is. $155 with an Apostle P edge. That's the buck. 560, and then in parentheses TI 110 FG for finger groove. If you thought that was a cool piece of knife making history, just wait till you see this. Anybody know what comes in that little leather slip? Well, the imprint should tell you it's an Mar Falcon, and this one in yellow paper micarta. Now, the later Bird series of Almar knives had radiused corners on the handle. These are chamfered. You can really see it in the satin finished stainless steel bolsters. Brass liners with a little bit of patina. Polished blade, and I can't remember, guys, what steel that they were using back in the 90s when this knife was made. I think it was VG10. You can see the Seki Japan. I believe these were Moki produced. But they are stainless steel. I think VG10. 2 15/16 blade. 4-inch handle. Classic Almar. I think I detected a very slight hint of side play. 0 vertical. Of course, the action is free. Blade centering is very close to perfect, if not perfect. Now, other than some hairlines in the satin of the bolsters, the knife is pretty much new. So we're going to call it near mint, no box, with the leather slip. I did find some of these in sold listings on eBay between $162 and $220. I can't imagine any of them were nicer than this. This one you can buy for $160 like it is, $180 if you like my edge on it. It's the Mar Falcon from the 90s. Next up, the first of 3 offerings from Great Eastern Cutlery, Titusville, Pennsylvania. This is from their Tidioute family of fine cutlery. It is a number 828318. It's an 82 Stockman in natural canvas micarta. Beautiful serpentine Stockman handle, and a lot of people don't notice this, but look at the shield. It is a round end bar shield, but it is a serpentine bar. Look, see? A very small little Easter egg in the 82 Stockman. These are 4 1/8 inches close, bigger than they seem. Natural canvas micarta covers, satin hardware, blade set, muskrat clip with a beautiful, sleek, long drawn swedge, cam tang, about a 6.5 pull, beautiful cam tang walk and talk. The center blade is a Warncliffe. And the third blade is a little drop point. The knife has basically 0 rub. Condition will be very near mint in tube. 3 current listings on eBay. They're all buy it nows, and there's the range, guys. They want between $400 and $615. There are 0 sold listings. Guys are hanging on to these, and when they sell them, they want the moon. This one can be yours, though. $195 like it is. $235 I sharpen all 3 blades. That's the GEC Tidioute number 82 Stockman. Next up, from Arno Bernard. And this is an older Arno Bernard model. You'll be able to tell when I show you the maker's mark. But it comes in this beautiful leather sheath. And look at this little gorgeous knife. I don't know the model. I'm calling it the Arno Bernard EDC Fixed Blade Vintage. It looks like they were still using Bowler N690 from the blade finishing. So you got polished flats, a hand rubbed satin on the nearly full flat, full flat ground bevels. I think that is hafted and polished sheep's horn. Now, the blade length on this is just 2 5/8. The handle 2 5/16. But if you wonder what this is for, look how your pinky just sort of wraps in there. Yeah, beautiful little knife. Doesn't appear to have ever been sharpened. Very little to no blade wear. Let's see. Let's do $100 on this one, and $120 if you'd like it with my edge on it. Again, in your inventory is Arno Bernard EDC Fixed Blade Vintage. Next, we have another vintage Arno Bernard, and again, just look at the leather work here. They do such a nice job in South Africa. And we're calling this one the Arno Bernard Finger Groove Hunter. I believe this is giraffe bone. Don't hold me to it, but that is sure what it looks like. And how do the finger grooves work? Well, in my size large glove hand, they're perfect. Again, I believe N690. Polished flats, hand rubbed satin on the bevels. That's either flat or a very large hollow grind. Now this one has been user sharpened, and it's got a little bit of edge wear, but other than that, pretty much like new. So we'll call this near mint, no box, with the sheath. 4 inches of blade, 3 13/16 inches of handle. Your price $150 like it is, $175 with an Apostle P edge. That's in your inventory is Arno Bernard Finger Groove Hunter. Next up, we have one from custom knife maker Dan Mink, and I'm just calling this the Dan Mink Hunter First, I want you to pay close attention to that beautifully tooled, beautifully finished leather sheath. And then inside, it seems to me that Dan Mink and Bob Dozier went to the same knife making school. Very similar blade profile. Large, thin, hollow grind, almost full height. I don't know what the blade steel is, guys. It doesn't look like D2. I don't know. Must be pretty old because Crystal Beach, Florida, FLA is the maker's mark. So at least Dan is older than two-digit state abbreviations. Got a beautifully engraved set of stainless steel bolsters, nice file-worked spine, tapered tang, burnt stag scales, beautifully matched. 3 5/8 blade, 4 9/16 of handle, near mint, no box, beautiful tooled leather sheath. Your price on this one, $150 like it is, $175 with my edge, the Dan Mink Hunter. Next up, this is the coolest boot knife I think I've ever seen. Yep. Green leather sheath with polished stainless boot clip, made in Germany. Inside, we have this. From Puma, it is the Bayernmesser boot knife. A clip point beauty in Puma inox or stainless steel. It's an integral knife. So the bolsters, end caps, blade, all one piece. And then some black liners and a couple of gorgeous pieces of sandbar stag, beautifully matched. That is just one bad mofo of a boot knife. Got a couple little marks in the blade just from sliding in and out of the sheath. 4 3/8 blade, 3 11/16 handle, near mint, no box. Your price, let's do $125 like it is, $150 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Puma Bayernmesser boot knife. Next up, check this one out, guys. Another beautiful piece of leather work. This is an R.L. Welling Hunter. I do not know what steel this is. I want you to look at the apple seed convex on that bad boy. It's almost got like a Fellniven profile, kind of fat, and then it's full height convex. Has been used and touched up. Obviously hand ground when you look at the grind marks in it. Looks like the hardware's nickel silver. Got some kind of burl wood as the main handle segment, and then spacers galore. Blade length 4.5. Handle is 4 5/8. I'll call this excellent, no box. Your price on this one? I don't know, it's awful cool. That'd be a good one for the display case. Let's do $85 like it is. $110 if you'd like my edge on it. That is the R.L. Welling Hunter. Next up, here's a brand I've never seen. This is the Olsen OK brand. Got a big leather sheath, big, long belt loop, leather thong lanyard, nice brass snap, stamped with the Olsen OK maker's mark. You got kind of a crudely polished trailing point blade, saber hollow ground. There's your stamped maker's mark. Somewhere in Michigan, not sure. 4 9/16 blade, 4 3/4 inches a handle, brass guard, laminated wood scales, and your lanyard. We'll call this one near mint. no box with the sheath. And let's do $100 on this one. 125. You'd like it with my edge on. That's the Olsen OK Hunter. I did find the identical knife sold listing on eBay at $144. So 100 ought to be a pretty nice buy on this one, don't you think? I think. Next up, we have two of these knives, and I've never seen this brand. Maybe you have. When you look at the sheath, it makes you want to see the knife. Beautifully tooled cordovan leather. Whoops. With a stitched leather edge. That is pretty cool. No thread in that sheath that I can see. That's a nice piece of work. And inside is another nice piece of work. Engelsman, Hamilton, Michigan. So you've got here a full height convex hand ground blade. Don't know the steel. If I were a betting man, I'd say it's probably 1095 or 01. Is the guard soldered? I don't think so. Then you got a beautiful handle with a base piece of stag, a bunch of spacers, black, red, and leather. Looks like a nickel silver guard. Doesn't look like aluminum to me. And this is going to be in your inventory as Engelsman Trailing Point Hunter number 1. Blade length is 5 5/8. Handle is 5 3/16. We'll say it's near mint, no box. Your price on this is $150, like it is. $185 with an TheApostleP edge. Engelsman Trailing Point Hunter number 1. Which brings us to Engelsman Trailing Point Hunter number 2. A little different sheath on this one. Again, beautiful tooling. This one is stitched with thread. This one's got a snap. So again, this is a little more refined on the grinding. Again, I'm going to say it's probably 1095 or 01. I don't know for sure. There's your Engelsman, Hamilton, Michigan maker's mark. Same kind of construction, but this has a brass guard and a beautiful piece of base stag, popcorny, and then black, red, brass, and leather spacers. Got a little bit of patina. And this is a saber convex with a convex swedge. 5 3/8 blade, 5 1/4 handle, near mint, no box. Price $150 like it is. $185 with an TheApostleP edge. That's the Engelsman Trailing Point Hunter number 2. You got to put it in the sheath the right way, dummy. Okay. Next up, got a couple more GECs coming up for you. Next of which is this one from the Great Eastern Cutlery line from Great Eastern Cutlery, or the Acorn series of knives. It's a number 89 fruit knife, this one in lemon bright acrylic, number 892121. Comes with the stainless steel fruit knife button. And here's your lemon bright acrylic 89. A slender sleeve board pattern, 3 15/16 inches enclosed length. This will glow in the dark, by the way. Cloud shield, lined bolsters and end caps. Single spear on a cam tang. 420 HC is your blade steel. There's your fruit knife etch. Very nice walk and talk. About a 6 pull. Near mint to like new in tube. Maybe just a little bit of storage wear. So there are 0 of these in sold listings on eBay. There are some current listings And the asking prices are between $149 and $314. Can you believe that? This one can be yours, though, for $125 like it is. $145 if you like my edge on it. That's the GEC Acorn number 89 fruit knife. Next up, oh, what a beauty. This is the save me from myself moment, guys. From the Northfield unexcelled line of Great Eastern Cutlery. It's a number 97 yellow rose. Number 976119. The 6 is the blade style. 6. What's that? Well, I'll show you. First, let me show you the button, the Allegheny 97. There is your yellow rose smooth bone. Coke bottle handle, yellow rose shield, 4 11/16 inches of knife. It's a hefty chunk. What's that 6 blade shape? You guessed it. It is a saber ground clip point with a long pull and a nail nick and a cut swedge. Yellow rose etch. Got a little bit of rubbing in the shoulder, just a slight bit. Now, it doesn't have a centering issue. It must have just been from opening and closing. 1095 steel. Beautiful walk and talk. Pull weight about a 6.5, maybe a 7. It's pretty strong for an Allegheny. Blade centering is perfect. Condition, near mint in tube with button. Sold listings on eBay, they're all over the map. Between $125 and $305. This a pretty doggone fine example. Let's do $150 on this one, $175 with an TheApostleP edge. The Northfield number 97 yellow rose from GEC. Next up, here's one you don't see every day. It's a Spyderco. As I turn the page. This is a dealer exclusive Manix 2 with the gray G10, black hardware. It looks like a black oxide or parkerized clip. DLC coated blade in 52-100. That's a Smoky Mountain, a Blue Ridge Cutlery dealer distributor exclusive. Now this has a user applied polished edge, and it's 52-100 and it hasn't been used a bunch, so you're going to see some slight staining in that edge bevel. Lockup is rock solid. Blade action is free swinging. Centering, I think, is going to be dead down the middle. We'll call it near mint in box. These are discontinued, not a stock. Sold listings on eBay run between $225 and $315. This one can be yours. $200 like it is. $225 with an TheApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Manix 2 GY DLC 52-100. Next up. It's a Spyderco. It's from Golden, and it's the Yo Jumbo, the large version of the Michael Janich designed Yo Jimbo. Coarsely finished peel ply G10, 5 3/8 inches of handle, 4 inches of blade, hollow ground, S30V. Again, that black oxide or parkerized clip, just a couple little scratches in the clip. Rock solid lockup. Compression lock is a free swinger. Blade centering is going to be dead. We'll say near mint in box. These are out of stock everywhere. When they were available, they had a map price of $185. Sold listings on eBay are run between 175 and 210. On this one, let's do 145 like it is, 170 with an Apostle P edge on the Spyderco Yo Jumbo. Next up, Microtech time. And this one is a stunner, guys. LUDT purple. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that aluminum handle in purple with a purple paracord lanyard tied on. Black clip, black hardware, DLC blade. CTS 204P. Gonna be your blade steel. Born March of 2019. Serial number 11035. It is dead solid on the lockup, and I'll show you why. That black triangle pivot has been tightened with some kind of tool, so you see just a couple of scratches in the black coating. Strong spring, robust deployment. Very near mint in box. Perfect action, perfect lockup, perfect centering. These are out of stock. When they were last available, online price new was $278. This one can be yours at $210, like it is, $240 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Microtech LUDT. Next up, another Microtech. This one not an auto knife. This is the SOCOM Elite manual single edge standard. Black hard anodized aluminum handle Tech inserts. Open back. So we've got manual deployment via thumb studs, ball bearing pivot. Stainless steel liner lock that locks up there. It's dead rock solid. Now this has been used and sharpened, and it's got a little wear in that polished edge. 4 inches of blade, 5 inches of handle. Rock solid lockup. Perfect blade centering. We'll call it excellent to near mint in box. Some very, very, very light scuffing. Just kind of rubs in the coating from use. Now these are out of stock everywhere. And what's the new SOCOM that's made in China? The SOCOM Beta or something? The Chinese produced SOCOM has caused the prices of these used American-made SOCOM Elites to skyrocket. Sold listings on eBay for this exact knife between $425 and $650. Because this one's been used and sharpened, we're going to do it at $375, like it is, $405 with an Apostle P edge. The Microtech SOCOM Elite SE. Next up, it's Benchmade time, boys. It is Benchmade time. Black box, model 273GY-1 Mini Adamas. This will be a Crewwear Mini Adamas black handle. 3D Machine G10 handle. Parkerized deep carry clip with the Benchmade butterfly. The robust axis lock. Look at the size of the axis bar and the stop pin. A speckly, sparkly gray Cerakote finish on the CPM Crewwear blade. This one's got a user-applied polished edge, and it is fine. Needs no help from me. Rock-solid lockup. Free-swinging blade. Centering is dead down the middle. Condition near mint in box. You can buy one of these brand new. The price has crept up to a robust $261. This one can be yours for $175 shipped priority mail. No need to sharpen. That's kind of a buy, guys. The Benchmade 273GY Mini Adamas Black Gray Crewwear. Next up, it is a blue box Benchmade. Inside the box resides a 535 FE 2101 bug out Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. It's got the diamond checkered OD green G10. This one has a G10 backspacer as well. The Parkerized Shorty deep carry clip, tip up ambidextrous. The tan Cerakote blade in CPM M4. Now this one has been user sharpened and it's pretty doggone sharp, just not quite cleaned up at the tip. So I am going to give you a sharpening price on this one, but as a user it doesn't really need sharpened. Rock solid lockup, free swinging blade, very close to perfect, if not perfect, blade centering. A pretty fine example. It has been used, and if you look closely, there are some rubs in that Cerakote. So we're going to say near mint in box. The Smoky Mountain Desert Warrior bug out is out of stock. When they were available, they were $208. This one, and it is the Rob's pick of tonight's sale. How about $150? Are you kidding me? $150 like it is? $175 with an ApostleP edge. The Benchmade 535 FE-2101 bug out. Next up, got one from Spyderco. In the box is the Canis. So this is interesting. It's a Taichung Taiwan Spyderco, but it's a compression lock. I think there's been one other one. What was the other? Taichung compression lock, but very cool. It's got the newer carbon fiber over G10 laminate with the more aggressively textured carbon fiber. Super cool. Check this out, guys. It's a gorgeous Wharncliffe blade. Kind of hollow ground like a Yojimbo, but with that super cool swedge. S30 Visor blade steel. 3 7/16 blade, 4 3/4 inches of handle. Superb ergos, man. That belly swell is just awesome. The jimping works great. The compression lock is a free dropper. On phosphor bronze, lockup is robust. Centering is dead. Condition on this, near mint, maybe like new in box. Very nice. They are out of stock. When they were available, map price was $222. Sold listings on eBay right now running between $183 and $227. Let's do on this one $170, like it is. $195 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Canis. Next up, we have one from Sandarin Knives. Inside that box, you're going to have a nice little microfiber cloth, an authenticity card, made in Valdellatore, Italia. And this, guys, and I sort of teased this knife yesterday in the heads up video. This is groundbreaking stuff. So the handle slabs are titanium, and they are finely milled with almost like an orange peel over the top. Super cool. You've got a titanium clip that is milled at the end, but I don't know how they did this because it's folded for deep carry and it's ambidextrous tip up. You got a ball bearing pivot and what they call the recoil lock. So it's a lot like a what is it, a shark lock from Demco. It's like a piston backlock. You just pull back on this protrusion, and down she goes. So it's the Monza recoil from Sandrin. The blade material is polyhedral tungsten carbide. That is not steel. It's polyhedral tungsten carbide. Blade thickness, I don't know, it's like a 1/16. And then it's got a super low saber grind with a polished edge bevel, if you can see that. It is sticky sharp. The blade is Blanchard ground. God knows what they grind this with. Everything's so thin. Lockup is super solid. Blade centering is super perfect. I gotta cut something with this. I don't think I've ever cut anything with it. Yeah, that dog will hunt. Let me get it on camera. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding you. Man. So let's see. 3 3/8 blade, 4 3/8 handle. Wow. Like new in box. Price of these online, brand new, $3.99. This one can be yours. $3.25. Tungsten carbide is some hard stuff, guys. It's like 70 Rockwell. I don't know how you sharpen it. I'm not sure you're ever going to need to. And it's pretty doggone tough. $3.25. Definitely doesn't need to be sharpened. That's the Sandrin Monza recoil. Next up, this is so cool. From Spyderco. It's a Manix 2 lightweight in Mystic Green FRN and a 20 CV blade. Translucent Mystic Green FRN. How cool is that? It's so neat. Just makes me smile. Got your ambidextrous tip-up wire clip, ball bearing, cage ball bearing lock. Super nice satin on this one. Oh, and it's collector club number 017V. Man, that's beautifully ground. Rock solid lockup. Free action. Perfect blade centering. Condition like new in the box. They're out of stock, new. Even at Country Knives that likes to, buy up sprint run knives and sell them for ridiculous prices. They sold their last one at $189. Sold listings on eBay running between $165 and $210. This one can be yours, $150 like it is, $180 with an TheApostleP edge. That is the Manix 2 lightweight GN20CV in your inventory. Beauty. That brings us to the last item in tonight's sale. It's not a knife. Not a knife. What is it? It is a KME precision knife sharpening system. And it comes in its original box. And man, we got stickers galore. I can't fit it all on camera. So in the box, we got the sharpening rod, we got a Sharpie, we got the wood base, you need that, you got a loop, you got a bottle of soapy water, you got the clamp, you got the post for the base. Put all this stuff back. I got stones. There's a 300, a 1500, a 600, a 50, a 140, and then a Russian 2000 grit stone. Let me put these back in some kind of a usable order. So all that stuff comes in the box. I don't know what that costs brand new, and the stones are barely used, guys. I do know this is a deal, an absolute deal. 125 bucks. You kidding me? And you've already got cool stickers everywhere. How are you gonna beat that? I don't know. 125 shipped priority mail. How about that? Near mint in case. And that is it for tonight. Hope you enjoyed this one. I sure did. What a fun sale. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Go get you some Christmas presents, my friends.